Hello, everybody. I'm talking about Rahu Ketu in Gemini Sagittarius and how that is going to affect you sign by sign. Hello, this is Komilla Sutton, and I'm talking Rahu Ketu. And, I've written a book on Rahu Ketu, Lunar Notes, Crisis and Redemption. You may like to get that from general usual sources, Amazon, etc. And I have always followed what is happening with Rahu Ketu and how to deal with it. So a couple of things to remember is that wherever Rahu Ketu are transiting, firstly, Rahu's transit is generally easier to deal with. Ketu is more difficult. Secondly, if you have planets under them, and especially planets under Ketu, if on those degrees, so say you have planets in Sagittarius, then Ketu is going over them and Saturn is going over them, then you can anticipate a challenging year for you, year and a half. So rather than ignoring the challenges, you have to think seriously about what to do and how to deal with your situation. And Rahu generally will give some more opportunity. Usually Rahu gives opportunity, but Rahu can also bring dissatisfaction. So you have to be careful about how you feel dissatisfied, what are the things. Now, we cannot see exactly your planet, so you have to look at it up yourself, those things. So let us start with Aries. So for Aries, Rahu is in the third house. That is a good transit for Aries. It will give a lot of initiative, a lot of ideas, pushing for things, dealing with situations. But Ketu and Saturn are in the ninth house. So ninth house can bring issues with not listening to good advice, not following good advice, issues with father. The eclipse is connected to third, ninth house axis. So it can be brothers, siblings, third house, ninth house is father, guru. So these are the things that you have to be conscious of. Always check the Lagna Lord. Lagna Lord's transit, if he's strong, you are way more able to cope with the transit. And for Aries especially, they need to watch out 14th of June when Mars is with Rahu, Ketu is with Saturn. That's the dramatic event of the year. For Taurus, Rahu is in the second house and Ketu, Saturn are in the eighth house. So Ketu, Saturn are both in Ashtama. Eighth house transits are always difficult and bring unexpected events. When Saturn transits eighth from the Lagna, you have to watch for your health. Ketu can bring some secret and unexpected events. Remember, Rahu Ketu also creating eclipses. So they can bring unexpected events into your life, changes. And it's important to see what dasha you're in as well. But this year can be unsettled. And so be sure to balance yourself. You know it's unsettled, then you're creating more unsettlement. Then that is not a good idea. Again, actually, one good thing for Taurus is that Venus is not getting involved in all these difficult energies. So they have a blessing that way because Venus is not involved in any of the drama. So it's actually one of the supporting factors. Look at my 5 positive things for 2019 and you can study that. Then Gemini, of course, Rahu is in Gemini. Normally, whenever Rahu goes into Gemini, it's good for you. There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of things happening. Life is lived at a large scale. But what you have to be careful is, are you feeling dissatisfied, unhappy with situations? And definitely nurture your relationships. Because Saturn is there, Ketu is there. Relationship area could be you're neglecting, not bothering. They may be feeling dissatisfied. Of course, you may be concentrating too much on yourself because that's what Rahu encourages. What I meant, of course, is that you have to do as much as you can and be careful about it. That is the main thing. Cancer. Before I go to Cancer, Gemini, again, June, 14th to 17th June, Mars, Mercury, Rahu, all together with Ketu, Saturn opposite. So that is your time that you have to be watching out as a concentrated energy and not taking decisions that are counterproductive. Going to Cancer, Rahu is going to be in the 12th house. 12th house transit is not a good one for Rahu. And so what are you to watch out for? Expenses. Rahu, 12th house is house of loss. It's also house of expenses. So you are keeping a tight lid on your expenses. Ketu, Saturn are good in the 6th house. So that is a good transit. Remember, you can also study all these from your moon sign as well, Lagna or moon sign. So both those aspects are there. So 6th house, generally Saturn, Ketu are good, unless you have planets. If you have moon in Sagittarius or Saturn in Sagittarius, then moon, sun, ascendant in Sagittarius, then it is difficult. But otherwise for Cancer, they have to be very conscious about spending, and 6th house is opposition and health also. So take care about that area. Leo, Rahu is in the 11th house. Usually 11th house transit is very good transit, but this year is not this transit of Rahu is not an easy transit. Ketu is not on its own. So we are paying more attention to Ketu. So Ketu is in the 5th house of creativity, of children, of higher mind, of mantra. So mantra may be a good remedy for Leos, to do some mantra, to do some spiritual things. Children can be troublesome. So watch out for that, how children are dealing with the situation. Virgo, Rahu is in the 10th house. That is very brilliant transit, success in career, lots of stuff. But you can feel dissatisfied and unhappy because 4th house Saturn and Ketu are there. There may be change of home. You may feel some issues dealing with mother that you need to resolve in your deeper self. You need to face up to it, deal with the situation. But, this is the thing with Rahu Ketu. The one side is full of opportunity, and the other side you feel restricted and obstructed by it. Then we come to Libra, and Rahu is in the 9th house and Ketu, Saturn in the 3rd house. Ketu, Saturn do well in the 3rd house. There is strength, and there may be some confusion about how you want to do things. Should you push ahead? Saturn is always saying caution. Ketu is looking at very alternative ways of acting out and alternative ways of taking initiative. What I would suggest is that keep your Libra balance. If you feel that's not okay, take your time over it. Rahu in the 9th house can sometimes make you doubt your gurus, doubt your advisors. You may also find strange people coming into your life from different lands or unusual. They may be very wise, but you have to learn to trust them. But at the same time, on important issues, I would advise take a second opinion. If in doubt, take a second opinion. And Libra is always about balance, about harmony. So they shouldn't rush into any ideas or suggestions. So take your time over the situation. And the big issue, Ketu, Saturn is in a good house. So it's not extra troublesome, although it is in the house of siblings. So that area can bring some issues, siblings versus father. That aspect is there. Scorpio, Ketu is in the 2nd house. Ketu, Saturn is in the 2nd house. Rahu is in the 8th house. These are always not easy transits because Rahu in the 8th house is unexpected changes. Eclipses are taking place. Second house is to do with money. I would say it's very important how you speak, because Saturn can be harsh. Ketu can be cutting or sarcastic. So you have to hold your tongue back a little bit. But financially also, it's a good idea to restructure, but also any crazy schemes and things, Ketu's kind of mystical ideas, you have to be a little bit careful about. And again, 14th of June with the Rahu-Mars conjunction in the 8th, that is not the easiest conjunction, so be conscious of that. Now we come to Sagittarius. I think Sagittarius, you're going through some tough energy, and it's a good idea to plan that, because Sagittarius is, it is not the easiest time for Sagittarius just now. Saturn is going through Ketu, so you're being hit from two different sides. And if you have Ascendant there, Moon, you are in deep Sarasati. So doing remedies is important for you. I'll make a separate video about remedies, but generally remedies, common sense remedies, donation, patience, yoga, giving back to society, being patient about your issues and taking advice and following through. Don't feel you can cut corners and move on, because it is for this year at least quite tough, but it is for people who have planets in Purva, Ashada and further, whereas in Mula, Saturn has already passed Mula. So when Ketu comes in 2020, you have to deal with that. 7th house, Rahu is there. Rahu always gives opportunity for relationships. This year, I would say, if you are looking for new relationship, tread carefully, because nothing is straightforward and simple. So take your time over it, not to rush into situations. Capricorn, Saturn, Ketu are in the 12th house. Now, Capricorn gets affected because the Lagna Lord or Moon Lord is in the 12th house. So it is with Ketu, you feel like rejecting everything. You're worried about expenses. You want to spend, you want to let go. Very good Ketu remedy is to study astrology. So if you're doing something, you're studying, you're doing some spiritual work, then that will be very useful for you. Karma yoga, giving back to society, that is good. Now, Rahu is in the 6th house. He's fine. Rahu is not creating any problems. It's Ketu's with Saturn, your Lagna Lord or your Moon Lord. That is the issue. So Ketu's deity is Lord Ganesha. Saturn's deity is Shani himself. So you've got, and 12th house is, you're making effort and not getting reward. So there's multiple things happening. And sometimes, it's a time to lie low and to do things and just allow the results to come, not to be focused on what results are going to come. For Aquarius, again, Saturn, Ketu are there, but Aquarius, it's in the 11th house. So that's a very good transit for Saturn, very good transit for Ketu. So you see the Capricorn, both ruled by Capricorn, Aquarius, but Aquarius is an easier energy. Rahu is in the 5th house. 5th house is regarding children, creativity, ideas. Ketu, Saturn in the 11th house, profit. Ketu is not looking for profit from material terms, but Ketu can give you a lot. He's like a flag. He can give anything because he's connected to past life. And what is it that you need from past life? And finally, we come to Pisces, and Pisces is Ketu, Saturn are in the 10th house, and Rahu is in the 4th house. So 4th house is connected to mother, connected to happiness. Rahu makes you feel very unsettled. It may make you travel. It make you do things. Ketu is in the 10th house. So there can be some change regarding career, something unusual, unexpected that can happen. And Shani is restructuring your work. So it's not a bad transit. It's pretty good transit. I know somebody who has the Pisces Ascendant, and they're structuring their work and what they want to do, but it's bringing new opportunity. So I would say that Ketu in the 10th house means that you can trim some extra bits of your issues in your life, and then you can, trim the tree of life. So trim the tree of your career. So things that are no longer important to you, you can change and you can move forward with it. So this is a general short overview of what you can expect from Rahu Ketu. As I said, I'll continue talking about it, but also to remember that during this transit, Rahu Ketu may conjunct with your planet. So the moment of conjunction, when it's conjunction with Rahu, that 1 week is intense, and just watch for it. And it's not a long transit. It's not like Saturn. But Ketu, because Ketu is accompanying Saturn, if Ketu is going over your planets, you know that this is not an easy year for you. But as I said, if you're early degrees of Sagittarius, then you've already done the Shani transit. It's only after the later degrees in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra that Saturn is affecting for Sagittarius. So, the various short conjunctions I'll talk about in the monthly transit. So again, as I said, check out on my courses, check out my website, komilla.com, and I appreciate all of you following me, and I'll be posting quite a lot of stuff now that I'm more stable in no longer traveling. Thank you very much. All the best.